So today's day two of ShopFunnels. Basically, I spent the whole day messing with the software, trying to get different things to work, seeing how different things to work. Overall, I think it's going to be a pretty good software long term. I would not recommend it for somebody just starting out if you've never designed a website before or did any kind of WordPress or coding or anything like that. I wouldn't recommend it simply because there's a lot of things that if you're not familiar with them, it's going to be challenging for you to set this up by yourself. Granted, they have a done for you service that you can purchase. But if you're trying to do this by yourself and you're new, I wouldn't recommend it. Yesterday, I spent most of the day going over the software, looking at different things. I was very excited about all the features, but as I dug into different things, it became somewhat challenging. One of the first challenges I had was that I thought I could just copy. I thought I could just copy my Shopify store and I would be done. They have a feature in which you can just copy from a URL. So you could clone a URL. This only works on certain websites. Which websites specifically, I don't know, but I was unable to clone any of my actual websites. So I ended up having to use a template, which they have some pretty decent templates available right here. So I'm not really hurt about it, but I really thought that I could just go through and copy my Shopify funnel, and it wasn't that easy. The next challenge I ran into was that I went through and I set up the homepage, I set up the collections, which is a group of products. And then as I was importing all of my stuff in, it somehow froze and it froze for a long time. So I came back, let it go for a while, came back, and then I tried a different store because I'm building two different stores. As you can see, I have a store here, and then I tried a smaller sample, and that worked. So I was like, okay, maybe the files that I was inputting was too much. So I imported maybe 1,000 lines of inventory into this particular store. And as I was doing it, somehow it reset to the new install. Like it was almost as if I didn't do anything at all. So, one thing I would recommend is that don't do anything with your store until you've uploaded your inventory. If you're doing it from Shopify, I would say import your inventory first, then do everything else because that was one issue that I had. It could have been maybe my cPanel had an error or something like that. I didn't really go through support, but it was somewhat later in the day last night. So I just started over from scratch. And then I had to reduce the size of my inventory list down to at least 100 to 150 lines of inventory and then do it individually. It took me a good while to do it, but overall, I'm satisfied with the fact that I was able to import 200 products, and most of them have several variations. And as you can see, this is what they took from Shopify, and they created the different sizes, the different colors, the descriptions, the details, the measurements, all of that stuff was done directly from my Shopify. So if you go to import products from Shopify, make sure you have roughly 100 or so per line, 100 or less for right now. I'm not sure if the software is just getting used to being used or whatever, but basically my file was too big. Basically, it's going to shoot out It's going to take the info that you put in, and it's going to take the title, the images, and it's going to create a good listing for you. So that part I'm really happy with, because it's going to be very tedious to like upload 4 different pictures, do a description, all of that stuff when I already had a pre-built Shopify store. So that's the part I wanted to uh, get past. So that's one thing I'm really happy about. The design piece, I'm still working on it. Um, Still working on the design piece. The web page builder is kind of finicky in my opinion. It's kind of hard to work with, but from watching the tutorials, I think it's just a standpoint of I need to get used to the different design elements that's available, because that's the part that's somewhat hard or irritating. And if you haven't worked with a piece of software before and you're trying to get used to it, it's going to be challenging. Um, but slowly but surely, I'm getting used to it. This is a pre-built template. I'm messing with different elements. I'm basically starting from the bottom and working my way up to the top. But I'm slowly getting used to the different elements and what they do. But that part is somewhat challenging. Just to show you what's available, I have all these different components where you can put in images, cards, videos, tables, widgets, Instagram, all kind of different things that's available, which is cool. But because the software is so new, there's not a whole lot of information on how to add these different things and how to use it. So that over time, I think that'll be good. But for right now, it's a challenge. So I would say if you purchase the software, either hire someone to do it for you or purchase the done for you service, because it's going to be a challenge for you to learn what each element is if you did not design it yourself. So yeah, that is my day 2 review of the software. Um, I'm working on different things such as adding Stripe, adding PayPal, so you could actually process payment on the website. Um, that stuff is in the works, but basically you have to install different plugins to get it to work. The backbone of this particular software is from another software called uh, not Course Funnels, but what is called Cloud Funnels. So most of the integrations, most of the plugins comes from the Cloud Funnels uh, marketplace, which is what we're looking at here. So they have Stripe, PayPal, Square, and a bunch of different payment processors available. Um, Zapier, of course, different things you could work with. So learning the software, getting used to the software, but overall, I would say get a done for you service where they set everything up for you, because it's a headache trying to do it yourself, even if you're new. And if you have a Shopify store or provide Shopify services, in the long run, it'll be a good software for you to have. So that's all I have for right now. I'll shoot some more videos as I learn different things. But for right now, that is where we're at. So currently building 2 different stores, and I'll show you guys what I'm doing as I'm doing it, so you can learn with me as I learn.